Good morning. All right. We are on the last 0 day. The last 0 day of this trip. I thought Shaw's would be the last 0 day, but nope. It's the 100-mile wilderness in Millinocket. I made a great choice coming here. It's raining all last night, raining all day today. Tomorrow's going to be 37 degrees, so that means all this rain's going to be ice and or snow. And so, yeah, I wasn't going to have my summit day be all wet and damp and gross. And even if I took a tent zero, I didn't have enough battery, didn't have enough food, didn't have any cash for the campgrounds in Baxter State Park. So my summit day would have just been a miserable, long, damp, uncomfortable day. But now that I'm here, I'm going to have clean laundry. All my electronics are going to be charged. I'll have cash for the campgrounds. I will have food. So now I can actually pack out a real lunch, a real dinner, a real good snack, some sodas, and have just a really, really great last night in the wilderness at Baxter State Park. Look at the weather. I would be sitting in a tent right now with no battery. I would have had cell phone service, but not enough battery to use that cell phone service. So I would have been sitting in my tent all day, all damp and wet and cold, and yeah, no. So I just spent the money, found other hikers that were coming here. Now tomorrow the plan is I'm going to get dropped back off at Golden Road. It's $20 extra. They're getting dropped off at the park entrance, but I'm a purist. I'm not missing 9 miles of trail. I'm not missing 9 miles of trail in the last 14 miles. So I get dropped back off at the Golden Road store, Able store, whatever, Able Bridge store, whatever the hell it is. And then I'll walk to either Katahdin Streams and or the Birches, spend the night, summit Friday morning, spend one more night, head out of the park, hitch back to Millinocket, or I'll go home and the journey will conclude. But I'll give you a tour of the place today. I'm just going to get some food and relax, edit some videos, and nothing else I can think to report on. How rude. Today's going to be a great day. I'm so happy I'm not in Baxter State Park in my tent in this weather. It would have been a miserable summit. I was all up in this. There's Whitecap. There's Katahdin. We left off somewhere around here. It's crazy. This is all the garbage I picked up on my way into Baxter State Park. Crazy. But these are something I want to talk about. People say you should use these on the trail because your trekking pole tips lead to erosion and they damage the trail, they scuff rocks. But I've picked up in the, let's just say 2,200 plus miles, I've picked up about 50 of these. These will sit in the wilderness long after our grandchildren have perished. So what's worse? A trekking pole tip aerating the soil or leaving hundreds of these traces throughout the forest? I think the trekking pole tip aerating the soil isn't going to cause any more erosion than our feet will. I don't know. I'm no expert on nature, you know what I mean? But I don't think these are it. I think we need to stop using these. I think they're a scam. And I think it's leaving unintentional traces all over the trail. Unintentional traces also are like, let's see, pieces of your shoe. That's an unintentional trace. But these diabetic test strips, that is, I don't know if that's unintentional or not, but it's pretty gross. I can't believe I even picked that up. But yeah, this is like 10 miles. Not bad. Turned out to be a really beautiful day. It doesn't matter, I wouldn't have had time to summit anyway, but clear blue skies, baby. Crazy. The weather out here, you just never know. Whoop whoop. It is a sleepy little town. That's the other hostel. The Outfitters or whatever. I think I might use them to get to Medway for my bus to Bangor. It's going to be a lot of bussing, but I will never spend $300 on a plane ticket for one way. My toe is starting to poke out. Good thing I only have 14 more miles in these shoes. Also, my heel is falling off, so 14 more miles. I was just kind of thinking, like, why is my toe cold? I can go for a nice, nutritious meal. Technically, the last resupply. So, February 20th, 2020 was the start of my first AT attempt. And they were loading his body into the van when I got to Amicalola Falls. So that should have been my first sign, my first omen that 2020 was going to be a bad year. R.I.P. It's crazy to finally know the story. There's only new rumors. All right, folks. Well, that is a wrap. Another day of not hiking the AT. But another day of this wacky adventure. Unbelievable. Oh, I made the dog go. Ooh, my bad. I didn't even think I was going to squeeze another zero in, but here we are. I know you all probably knew I was going to squeeze another zero in because, God, you all know me just as well as anybody else by now. So, yeah, another day of not hiking the AT. Crazy that I'm saying that in the last, 14 miles to Katahdin, and then, 6 down. So, crazy that I'm taking another zero in the last 20. It's okay. That's all right. I would have been all wet and uncomfortable, and Friday is going to be super cold, so it would have been like a dangerous summit, and that's all right. I have clean clothes now. I'm packing out a Caesar salad, a sub, some chips, some snap sugar snow peas, what else? Some fruit. I'm just going to go up there to the campsite, the Birches. I'm going to pig out, and then I'm going to summit, and then I'm going to pig out again, and we're going to call this an adventure. And it's crazy. The last zero of my trip was in Millinocket. Only me. Only at Wander with Sam, you know. That's just, it was a great hostel. I might come back here in another, when I get back to town, so I'll do a tour then if I do come back. I'm leaving at 5:30 in the morning, and it's too late to do a tour now, so if I don't get to tour this place, my last zero place, I'd feel really bad. It's unfortunate, but it's the 100-Mile Wilderness Inn. Great hostel. Actually, the beds are it's the most comfortable bunk I've slept on this entire trip. I might come back. I'm not sure. I settled up with her. I'm playing it by ear. I might hitchhike out of Millinocket since I'll be leaving on a Saturday, out of Baxter, since it's going to be on a Saturday, so it'd probably be an easier hitch than on a Tuesday, you know. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Ideally, I would like to summit on Saturday and immediately start going home, but it looks like all the buses and everything are early in the morning, so I might have to stay in Millinocket one more night. I'm ready to go home and start the next chapter. Well, I'm ready to go home, finish all the YouTube, because I still have like 15 days of YouTube to edit. I have all the other little videos, like gear videos and thank you videos, and there's a lot of content still to make. And I did all those interviews where I asked probably 100 people at this point the same 3 questions: your name, what you're doing out here, and if you have any life advice and or advice for hikers, or any advice for hikers and or life advice. Somehow I worded it, but either way, if it's I have to edit all that. I'm going to do like clips of my walking shots, and it'll show me progressively getting skinnier. And I have a lot of really great content that I'm going to create from this content, plus content in the future to make like other hikes. I want to revisit the Batona. I want to yo-yo the Batona in December, so there's no ticks, hopefully. But it is Jersey, so it could be 80 degrees in December too. So it could be beach time in December. I've had Thanksgivings where I was at the beach. I've had Christmases where I was at the beach, not in the water, but anyway. My last 0 confirmed. I don't know, maybe can I get to the Birches and then get back to town, do one more 0 before I don't know, maybe. No, no, it's done. We're done. This is the last 0. The final 0. Wow. It actually kind of gave me anxiety, like made my heart do a weird fluttery thing. Unbelievable. Wow. Who takes their last 0 on Millinocket? Who goes to Millinocket before they summit? Well, this guy and the 3 other hikers in there, apparently. But anyway, yeah. That's all I could think of to report on. Today was a great day. I hope you had a great day. You're all great. God is great. God is just always so great. I love God. I love you guys. God loves you guys. Just have faith in God always. Faith, love, hope. Faith, hope, love. The most important is faith. Always have faith. Faith in everything. And faith in yourself. Faith in God. Faith in the unknown. You know, faith is just trusting the unknown. The unknown could be 1 second from now, you know. Anyway, I don't know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow, you sexy, sexy people. I love each and every one of you. And I'll see you next time. Have a great night. Bye.